Ow, my neck. I hurt myself doing a funny face. Hello, and welcome to episode 5 of Demon Media. Today we will not be doing a recap of anything, because I somewhat scheduled myself better this week. Not that much, but better. So this is episode 5. We're going to be covering FNAF World and Sister Location. So buckle in. This is a 5-hour episode.
Don't jinx us. Do not jinx us.
Oh, you don't know how long my notes are. But as always, I am here, Springy. I will never sleep. And our lovely co-host for all the FNAF episodes.
Hi, I'm Velvet. I look the same in a video. Who knew?
For once, I know, it's nuts. It's like we recorded them both in the same day.
Whoa. Surprising.
I know, right?
Makeup and everything. Whoa.
Okay, so first, we're just going to kick it off. We're just going to kickstart it real fast. So, FNAF World, I'll be covering it. This location, our lovely pink-haired guest who matches the animatronics will be doing Sister Location. It's
I
like
literally
you did it on
think
purpose.
I should be there.
I know, right? It's like you did it on purpose. It's like, okay, I'm going to be pink so I can match the animatronics I'm going to be talking about.
Yes, my whole world revolves around FNAF. I say that as a joke, but it's not really.
It almost does. So FNAF World, it released on the most controversial game in all of FNAF media to date.
Yep.
Even like the creator is like, let's just not. It didn't happen. This is not the FNAF game you're looking for. Okay, FNAF World the first version of it came out January 21st, 2016. And then, I know this is fucking old.
It's like
I know, right?
Whoa.
And then the full game, which was more 3D graphics, which, okay, proto game you had to pay for. It got taken off of Steam, and then it got re-released for the full game on Game Jolt, which was also, so if you already had the prepaid one, you can just update it. And if you didn't, you can get it on Game Jolt for free. So I bought it. Wish I waited a month, because it came out on Game Jolt for free on February 8th, 2016. Same exact game, just better. It was, instead of being 2D graphics, it was 3D graphics, basically. That's basically all that was different. Mm-hmm. And then May 13th, 2016, was the next update. The actual, like, big update for update. It was called Update 2, which I also called a Halloween update, because it's has Halloween animatronics in it, and we'll be covering that soon. And everything. So, now I'm just going to kind of I'm going to quickly go over the endings. Because the endings are the things that make my document 9 pages long. So, there are a lot of endings in this game. In the next video, if we get to that today, there's going to be a connection there. So, FNAF World, shit ton endings. The first one is the normal ending, which is you just play through the game and you defeat the owl security bot at the end. FNAF World's a fucking trip. Then next up, next ending that was labeled is hard mode ending, which is you finish the game, and then you also beat up Scott Cawthon himself. And he's his. Yeah, exactly. The Block Man. That version of him. Then the third ending, even though it's called the fourth glitch, I wish I switched these two if I just read it beforehand. So the third one is called the fourth glitch ending, which is when this is achieved by going to the glitch after the Bubba fight and proceed as normal until the player reaches the third sub-tunnel. The player must go up, right, the bed. You can find this on FNAF Wiki. Pretty much,
we're making the video so they don't need to go on FNAF Wiki.
I know. Okay, well, then we're going to be here for 5 hours.
Yeah, that's true.
This is a quick informational video if they want to hop in, not hopping into the game. Because I found all this off the FNAF Wiki. I have done most of these things myself, so I know these actually do work. So, So you keep on going down in the glitches, because that's how FNAF World works, until you find Old Man Consequences. You'll hear about him a little bit later as well. And you pretty much just keep on going, and then you just talk to him, and then you close the game. And then when you open up, you get another trophy, and it's Old Man Consequences. But within that ending lies a secret fourth ending called the Drowning Ending. So in Old Man Consequences, fun little place, you can wiggle yourself into the pond and drown yourself, and that closes your game. I kid you not. It closes your game, and then it opens back up again. I'm not kidding.
Laughing. It's not funny. Why am I?
Because it's a little glitchy bear drowning himself in his lake. That's why. Because we're horrible people.
Content.
And that's how you get the drowning ending. And that I'll bring up the drowning ending again in the next video. Hopefully we'll record that today, and this won't take too long.
Hopefully.
So next one is the universe end ending. Now, the player must meet up with the Fredbear NPC while having Fredbear, the playable character, as your party leader. After the dialogue begins and the background will go black, and the two will conk their heads to the side. It's spelt like the inappropriate male genitalia. So it was like they both. What did they do? And then because the universe cannot have two Fredbears existing at the same time, and the universe will end, basically. This ending can be easily obtained by starting a new game in fixed party mode and setting the blue 1 party maker on Fredbear. Then the ending will occur in the first cutscene of the game. That's just a fun little hint there. Next one is Chipper's Revenge ending, which is you can find a secret boss inside of the mountain area, and there's plenty of gameplays for you to find him. And you beat up Chipper, which was his original. We talked about him a little bit in the first episode about how he was his first not bigger game, the first idea of FNAF, basically, because people called him creepy. And then he's a very powerful enemy, as this says. So to defeat Chipper, you use the same types of strategies as Scott Cawthon, pretty much, if you find all those. And then again, and upon defeating Chipper, bemoans his franchise fate, speaking of how players would rather be scared by a franchise, and he swears to return one day before deactivating, which we all know he does actually somewhat return in FNAF 6. So that's fun. Yeah. But we'll talk about that next episode. There's a lot of stuff connecting to FNAF World in next episode. I just not realized that. Even though everybody does not want to talk about it. There's like 3 games that all have something to do with FNAF World. And so then there's the clock ending, which is basically just it's like all those mini games in video games where you have to like go and find shit. Which that's pretty much what the clock ending is. Mm-hmm. To do this, first, anytime the player speaks to the storyline Fredbear, they must go through his dialogue until the done button appears. Do not click it. Now you have to restart the whole thing.
Oh no.
After staying idle for a few seconds, Fredbear will transform into his 8-bit form and allude to darker things. And then following these steps to the letter, and it's just a fucking list of things, which again is on the... There are 10 steps to this one ending.
Oh god.
And there are like 2 paragraphs each. So let's just continue on to Chica's Magic Rainbow ending, which is only in update 2, which is all the Halloween stuff. Yes. Which is pretty much you defeat the update. You defeat the DLC update, so on and so forth. That's
you really just say no. I do not want this update.
I do not. You're just like, no, I'm deleting the update. No, you go through the
Pulling
update and you
Monica
finish it.
here.
Just God, like yeah, and again it just the puppet, not the puppet. I'm sorry, the rainbow. You actually do use the puppet a lot in this game.
Yeah.
Just like the rainbow is just like, you cheated, and besides, didn't your mommy tell? This is a quote from the game. What it says when it dies. Didn't your mommy tell you that you can't kill a rainbow? The next time you see a rainbow in the sky, that is me coming to your house. And house is spelled with a lot of U's, S's, and E's. How?
Oh my gosh. Wait, I love that. It's really like, I'm coming for you no matter what.
God, it's a trip. That's what that.
Till death. I respect that.
That's dedication. Okay, so new characters. Not gonna go over every single one because they're just cute, smaller versions of everything from FNAF 1 to 4.
Yes. And
No, that's Sister Location.
yeah,
There's a fan game called FNAF World 2 where they had Sister Location ones. That's not something we're gonna talk about because that's a whole different thing. Maybe if we're both bored in the middle of the night, we'll record an episode about the fan games.
Don't say that. It's gonna. Don't say that. There's so many.
But any of yeah. Now I'm gonna go over all the new characters you can play as. You can play as the purple guy, which is technically not the same purple guy as in Springtrap because he says that. The coffee pot, Chipper himself, Crying Child, and then all those are in the DLC 2. And then there's Fredbear and Spring Bonnie. That's the first appearance of Spring Bonnie.
Ooh.
There was a whole thing about how is Spring Bonnie a boy or a girl, and then
I remember that.
there was like a whole like year of just debating that, and then there were memes like, do we really care about this robot bunny? Do you just want to know if you should draw boobs on it or not? Like,
honestly,
that's probably what it was. They're like, we want to draw boobs on it.
like it doesn't matter.
It really doesn't. It's a robot rabbit that turns into a serial killer. So I mean, then there's the first appearance of Dee Dee as well, which we'll talk about again in Ultimate Custom Night. She's a pain in the ass. But in this, she's just like a shop owner. Then there's Dusk Man, which we meet in the end of the second DLC, which is kind of, I'll talk about that in a little bit. There's 8-Bit Fredbear, which we kind of talked about in the clock ending. Old Man Consequences, again, we talked about in 2 of the endings. And Mendo, which was a animatronic that was pretty much just selling you shit. And then there's a lot of bosses as well. Like, just in the normal game, there's a few other ones. Let's just not go over them all, because I kind of already went over some of them.
There's so many.
So many. Like, literally, there are 13 bosses.
Yeah, do they ever... Aren't there ones that, like, get reincarnated, or am I thinking of, like, a fan series that I watched?
No. Pork Patch does turn into... Yeah, Pig Patch. Yeah, some of them definitely do turn into them. I think Bubba was the one that might have been turned into Ned Bear. And then Chipper turned into El Chip.
Yeah.
Auto Chipper. There's some weird names in here. There's Bubba Brow Boy. It's just Balloon Boy with a unibrow.
I forgot it.
Pork Patch, Mad Endo, Auto Chipper, Bouncer, not the Skylander, Seagoon, Eyesore. These are like almost like Ben 10 names.
Right?
Like, for the aliens. Security, which was a Halloween thing.
Yeah.
Chipper's Revenge, which we talked about already.
Mm-hmm.
Security, which was the bird at the end of the easy normal mode. Scott Cawthon himself, and Chica's Magic Rainbow. God.
Scott really had to be creative with these names. He was like, oh god, I gotta start looking up, like, adjectives and, like, make...
Yes, adjectives. That's all this
name generator.
Oh god. Random name generator. So, and then cutscenes. First of all, I'm gonna go with, I wrote them opposite than I'm going to say them, but that doesn't matter to you guys. So first, in the beginning, we get 2 golden eyes as when you first open the game, and it's just like it's creepy, basically. And then at the end, there is a teaser for Sister Location as well, since we actually hear Baby's voice talking to the Dusk Man.
The Dusk Man.
That's what he's called, but we all just assume it's
Henry, right?
Yeah, Henry. I couldn't remember his name. I was like, not Scott Cough. Well, Scott. He's just like.
I blink. Like, wait, it's Henry, right?
Yeah, it is Henry. Yeah. And then gameplay is just like your normal everyday RPG. You buy things, you beat them up, pretty much. So a lot of the theories coming from. I mean, yeah, some of them. There's a move called Bite of 87. And I think Mangle and Foxy both have it. There's a few of them that have it. There's a few of them that have it, and there's one date.
Oh my god, why does Scott do that? Why does he do that?
He's annoying. But a lot of theories coming from it were pretty much what we kind of already covered, was just, I don't remember if it's in this one. It might be in this one, where in some of the stuff we're actually setting up for the FNAF 3 minigames. I'm not sure if that was this one or if that was in Sister Location.
Yeah,
I can't remember off the top of my head. I'm just now remembering this. That's why it's like not on my notes. And the number's not moving again on my counter, and it's scaring me.
Let's just hope.
Let's keep on going. But yeah, a lot of theories. There wasn't really a lot of theory fodder in it.
Yeah.
Because like the Sister Location teaser, we were like, what's this? And then Sister Location came out, and I'm like, oh, it's this. That's pretty much the only big theory fodder from that. And I condensed like 3 pages of 4, 5, 6 pages of notes into that. So that's why I didn't read every single ending, people.
Yeah. I mean, makes sense. But that's interesting that this is his first game that wasn't lore based, right?
It wasn't. There's probably some, but there isn't main. It's not. You could tell it wasn't a main game. It was a kind of a buffer.
Yeah, which it's so interesting.
Yeah. Okay. So is there anything else you want to say about FNAF World? Because I know you did not want to tackle this topic at all.
Yeah,
we're planning on who does what.
We were planning, and I'm like, is there a new update that I didn't know about? Nope, it's just a fan game. Oh god, I know nothing. Well, I know some stuff about FNAF World, but definitely nowhere near as I should, which is why I'm not butting in during.
Every 5 seconds, I'm going to do in 5 minutes.
Yeah. Oh my. Yeah. So yeah, I don't really have anything to add. Oops.
Cool. So we'll just kind of go over to Sister Location then, which is your thing. So here, let me pull up. Tell me when you want the pictures of the characters, and I'll pull them up and stuff.
You can pull them up now because we can go over the characters first.
Cool.
Fun fact though, can everyone tell that I like Sister Location?
Nope, not share it. I'm trying to present it. There we go. It's gonna load. Okay, there we
go. Okay. I forget how to do this. I haven't done this so long. It feels so long. Whatever. So, baby. Technically, it's Circus Baby.
Circus Baby. It depends on who you're talking
name. Whatever. Anyways, Baby here is very clearly an animatronic clown-looking doll person. She has green eyes and reddish orange pigtails, with really rosy cheeks, which is the staple for the Funtime animatronics. They're all white with the really rosy cheeks and a certain color that is associated with them. She has that weird dress outfit thingy, and her microphone obviously, and then she has those little pin things on her, which we don't really need to get into for this video. They do have importance, so.
We don't have to get into them yet.
No, we're not getting into those. As you can see, this is gonna be for all the animatronics. They have the faceplates and everything. They're a lot more high tech than the ones that we've seen before.
You can kind of see what she's about to be talking about right here with Bitty Bab. They all do something like that.
Open up and everything, yeah. And they all have different functions for them, which I'll get into later. We're just going over what they look like right now, essentially.
Yeah.
Do you want me to go over the Bitty Babs right now,
Yeah,
too?
since we're here anyway. Be easier.
The Bitty Babs are, like mini, like, helpers, almost, I guess. I don't really know what to call them. They're just, like, little animatronics. They're, like, associated with Baby. They're really freaky. It's kind of there. They attack you in night 1 when you try to crawl under your desk, and they're like, hey, we want to play with you, and they try to open your little cubby hole, and they, like, stare at you creepily. I hate them, which is so weird.
No.
It's so weird. Who do you hate more, the Bitty Babs and Mini Arenas, or Balloon Boy?
I personally, like, I don't know if you finished any of the games, so that's a hard question. I think I hate Dee Dee. That's who I hate.
Yes.
Is that the third answer? Can I say that?
Yeah.
Can I just say I hate Dee Dee in Ultimate Custom Night? She's a pain.
See, I was going to include Dee Dee, but I'm like, no, that's, like, the obvious answer.
Okay, if we're not using Dee Dee, then I think I probably just hate Balloon Boy more, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Just because he's an adjective. He's annoying more often. Like, these guys are only in the first night.
His laugh annoys me so much. His laugh.
Yeah, in FNAF 3, you hear it a lot.
He's so
Saves
taunting.
grace a lot of the time.
He makes me want to, like, punt him, which, like, I say, but then he's made of metal, so that would hurt so much, but I still want to punt him.
Yeah. Okay.
Mini Arenas. Okay. Mini Arenas and Ballora. So Ballora is, like, has blue hair, like I said, white with, like, the rosy cheeks. She's, like, blue kind of associated with her. And the tutu skirt, whatever, obviously, which spins. I think that's cool. It spins, like, the other way that she goes. She has her eyes closed for most of the time. The only time she opens them is when she jump scares you, I believe. Right?
Yeah. I think that goes for, like, a lot of them.
Yeah. I just couldn't remember because, like, there's, like, that whole point about Ballora being, like, really, like, oh, eyes closed, whatever, and we're all like, oh, what's your eye color? What's your eye color? But now, I believe it's like orangey yellow, like an amber, kind of like Foxy's eyes, but I could be completely wrong. Either that or purple. I literally don't remember. Oops.
I think it's like a yellowish. I think I've seen a picture of her and it's like yellowish.
Yeah, I was pretty sure it was yellow, but I couldn't remember. I'm like, that makes sense. But
this is the only one that actually sings in all of FNAF, I do believe. Like, she has a whole little song about no more joy, an empty tomb.
Oh, God, her song is so creepy.
And kind of sad as well.
It is. Because, like, she's believed to be William Afton's, like, wife or something, or, like, it's, like, the mother. It's sometimes, like, implied. It's, like, a part of the lore, kind of.
Yeah. And, like, how Baby is his daughter now.
Yeah.
That's,
and how Baby's eyes used to be blue, but now they're green.
Yep. But that's when I go into the mini games a little bit.
Yeah, we're going to that later on. Then the mini arenas. There's actually 2 types of mini arenas. There's these ones originally, which are in FNAF. Not in FNAF. They're in FNAF's location, obviously, but, like,
in the primary game, and then there's another version that's in the the custom night.
Yes.
Same thing with the Bitty Babs.
Yeah, exactly. There's the regular Babs, the regular Bitty Babs, and the Electro Babs, which shock you, but we'll get into those later on.
Yep.
But these ones crawl into your suit when you get trapped in night 3, I believe.
Yeah.
Right, night 3, yeah. Into day 4, night 4, whatever. But they try to crawl into your suit, and your goal is to, like, get them off of you, before they, like, come and kill you. Which is something else interesting about them, but we don't need to get into those today. We will get into those when we read the books. There's so many things in the future, God. Funtime Foxy, my second favorite animatronic, I think. I don't know. It's a debate between Mangle and Funtime Foxy, which
they're close enough. It's fine.
I like the coloring. Can you tell?
No, not at all. I have no idea.
But so Funtime Foxy is obviously the Funtime version of Foxy. We've seen Foxy in multiple games before, obviously. Very similar to Mangle or Toy Foxy, whatever you want to call them.
It's like, okay, so there's Mangle. Originally, we thought her name was Toy Foxy when she's fixed.
Mm-hmm.
Then we looked at Toy that actually came out, and it's called Funtime Foxy. That does not look like that one.
I know. I don't.
I guess its canon name is Funtime Foxy, but it's like, it's Toy Foxy. Because it's like, with the toy animatronics, it makes no sense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sorry, go ahead.
But then again, wait, no. But then again, Funtime Chica is in FNAF 6 and not.
Yeah, but at least she follows the same, like, color coordination and design of the other ones.
Very true. It's bizarre. Oh god, I'm gonna go on a tangent. I can't go on a tangent right now. No. Funtime Foxy is white and pink. Obviously. With the red bow tie. We love those little red bow ties. With the speaker. Funtime Foxy doesn't have the pins, only did Ballora have them? Wait, go back.
No, Ballora doesn't have the pins. I think it's only
it's
she has
only
like pin looking parts on her dress, but I think it's just
like,
Baby that has.
Yeah. I thought so too, but I wanted to double check.
Yeah,
Funtime Foxy doesn't have any like little helper things. Yeah, that's really it. Like I said, the makeup, same with like the rosy cheeks, whatever. Same general idea as all the other ones, and same face plates and all that fun stuff. There's not really a whole lot to go over.
Yeah, and it looks like she has Funtime Foxy has a much more female-esque design.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, it looked like they were trying to make her a female, but their voice is a male voice actor who's doing a male voice.
Yeah, and they're like,
yeah,
it isn't Funtime Foxy referred to as like multiple pronouns too, or is that just Mangle? I'm forgetting.
I think either one really. I think they both are.
I can't remember completely. I feel so underprepared.
Yeah, no, you're fine. It's it's like those small things that just like at the time it's like, oh my god, and now it's like
like
like in Ultimate Custom Night, Funtime Foxy has a male voice actor. I'm not 100% sure if Funtime Foxy had a lot of voice lines in Social Location, so that's probably why there was a debate at the time.
Foxy had any voice lines. I think Baby, Ballora, and Funtime Freddy were the only ones with the voice lines.
Yeah. At least on top of our heads. And speaking of the lovely bear himself.
Yes, Funtime Foxy. Not Funtime God. Funtime Freddy. I love Funtime Foxy. Can you tell? Can you tell? Yeah. Oops. Okay. Funtime Freddy and Bon Bon. We love it. So basically, Funtime Freddy is like purple and white, like I said, same like designs, whatever. He's bigger than the other ones for a specific reason that again we'll get into later on. And he works in tandem with Bon Bon, the Bonnie puppet on his hand. Bon Bon kind of resembles Toy Bonnie, but like slightly darker coloring, more so.
It's like Toy Bonnie with like Bonnie's coloring almost.
Yeah, or I'd say Toy Bonnie with Nightmare Bonnie's coloring, because it's like it's too blue to be
normal Freddy and the normal Bonnie.
Yeah, so we're both getting each other mixed up.
Headaches.
Right. But yeah, he has a top hat and, like I said, face plates and all those fun things that all the other ones had. Bon Bon is the only one that doesn't really have face plates or anything out of them, and mini arenas, but like those are dolls.
It's almost like the puppet looking masks. Like,
yeah, exactly.
I could actually make masks of them. Fun fact. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say he doesn't really have like any face plates, which is like kind of interesting, especially because like he would be roughly the same size. It's like a little bit smaller, like halfway, but like roughly the same like dimensions as like the bitty babs or stuff. Maybe a little bit smaller, I'd assume.
Yeah.
So I don't know why, but whatever. It's fine.
And then our big combining boy right here.
Oh, yes, Ennard. So yeah, Ennard is basically all the animatronics like jumbled together, smushed together. You don't really see. You only see him at the very end of the game. Either if you do the non-canon ending or if you do the canon ending, you see him like only briefly, just like standing at you, staring at you like, haha, I win, you lose. Time to get scooped up. And then in the non-canon ending, you fight against Ennard, who tries to come and attack you.
FNAF won you, basically.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so that's like really just all about him. He's like all the wires tangled together. A really interesting fact about Ennard is I believe his mask is in the main room, and then once you leave after being with Baby on night 5, after you leave Baby and you like go through to go to the scooping room where you see him if you do the canon ending, his mask is gone, so like it's all put together. You can.
I love that small detail. I really do.
Yeah, I know, right? It's so fun. I noticed that the first time I watched Markiplier play through, and I was like, wait, what does that mean? What does that mean? And then I'm like, oh, that's what that means. Now we know.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's not like a whole lot to say about him. The only small detail that I wanted to point out as well is sometimes the mask will be replaced by Lolbits, which is a non-canon character, but still fun to like. It's still like replaced sometimes on the Hane part, not the actual character.
Yeah, it's always fun to find those small little things.
Right? It's small details that like pull everything together. That's what I love.
Yeah. So now,
are we going over?
Yeah, we're going to be. I just need to pull them up. I know. Look, we're looking at the Wikipedia. So we found all my information. So first of all, let me just make sure I'm just gonna go in the order of this on here.
Yeah.
So the Yendo, which is right here.
Yes.
This fine-looking fella.
Yeah, Yendo is just like. These are obviously now the non-canon characters that you get in FNAF. In FNAF
Custom Night.
In Custom Night, yeah. Which is non-canon, I believe, but the endings are. Cutscenes are. But basically, just like the endoskeleton of a animatronic. We aren't really sure. We don't really know who it's supposed to be. It looks like a like Freddy type model, but it has yellow eyes. So like none of the Freddys have yellow eyes.
Yeah.
So we don't really know who it's supposed to be, and it's not like hollow on the inside. So
there's we also have this hand right here.
Oh yes. So we never really know who that actually is supposed to be.
Hopefully a future Freddy. Okay, it started me at a different spot because all the ads are opening up. Boop-a-doop, biddy-bab, and then we're going to go on to one you mentioned already.
One of my favorite characters. I don't know why. I love Lolbit. I love the Foxy like animatronics. Yeah, they're so fun. I don't know why. I love it. But yeah, Lolbit is basically like a slightly different like colored version. You get rid of Lolbit. Okay, you get rid of Lolbit by doing LOL in the monitors, because does Lolbit just crash your game and doesn't actually attack you in FNAF?
I think it's just like a distraction, like just blocking your screen.
Yeah,
so you can't tell where they are.
Be a distraction rather than like actually attacking you, which Lolbit will attack you in the hard mode of FNAF VR, but that's not this episode.
That's a episode by itself. That's what that is.
I'm gonna cry when we do that.
Yeah, well, we're doing that next week. Okay, so now we're going to this lovely creature right here.
Yes. Bonnet is just like the female version of Bon Bon. Again, just attacks you. No like full on like interesting stuff about her. Yeah.
A lot. It seems like a lot of these are just kind of like recolors. Like you can tell, like people were complaining about not having a custom night. He was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'll make one just because.
He's like screw it. I'll make this. I'll do it myself. Like you want to complain.
I can't really zoom in, but this is the Electrobab. It just has different colored eyes, pretty much.
Yeah, it just has different colored eyes, and the only thing that's different about it is that it depletes your power, I believe, or is it?
Power, electricity, whatever.
Yeah, and the electricity too. That's like the only real thing about it. Yes, and then the mini arena twos.
It didn't show anything about the mini arenas in the thing.
Yeah, the only like interesting thing about those is that they get rid of your oxygen.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll get rid of your oxygen. And you have to like stop them by shocking them, I believe.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's fun to shock them.
Yeah. Okay. So now we're getting into like the lore, kind of, and like the Easter eggs.
Yeah.
So there's like a decent amount of Easter eggs, but I'll only go over a few of them. So if you like click enter its mask in the primary control room, it makes like a crying noise. Because like in the past FNAF games, if you like click the Freddy nose on the poster, it does like a boop sound. But all the sounds from like FNAF sister location are really like disturbing and like creepy. There's nothing fun about them.
I think my mic is coming through my webcam and not this, because you heard me when I had this muted.
Fun.
So, I mean, it doesn't really matter. I mean, it's not like I'm like spitting profanities while I'm not talking, but you know.
How dare you?
I know, right? Sorry, go ahead.
Okay. But then like there's 3 baby heads that make like a creepy sound too. Like that's just like another like fun thing about it. Biddy Bab will like when you come home, sometimes Biddy Bab will like appear to be watching the player like in the light that you have.
Mm-hmm.
The mini arenas on I don't know what I was doing for that, but if you die to Ballora in a like for a specific amount of time, something will happen with the mini arenas. Which I think is kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
When you get home, like I said, same thing happens with the Biddy Babs. A mini arena will sometimes be in your popcorn and be like pop out and be like, "Hi, what's up?" And you're like, "Oh no, don't be home. I don't want my work following me home." The breaker room map is the FNAF 4 house, so that's when you're playing against Funtime Freddy and you're trying to like get all the cameras done. That's essentially like it. You get the FNAF 4 house. The panel in the private room is accessed by typing 1983, and you reveal like cameras of the FNAF 4 house, so it like kind of confirms that sister location is underneath the FNAF 4 house.
Yep.
Like I said, there's blueprints. Oh, I can't talk now. Blueprints of the main 4 animatronics that will appear when you like boot up the game. Sometimes like entering an area. In night 3, you get a rare chance of seeing Yendo instead of Funtime Foxy, which is kind of cool. So I guess like that's like it's kind of canon. I guess I don't really know.
Yeah, it definitely depends on who you talk to about those types of things.
Yeah, exactly. The canonicity of this game is very, very confusing.
It's very loose.
For any of the games. Okay, yeah, so for like the lore and like the story, so after a location of Fazbear Entertainment shuts down, William Afton creates its own like animatronics and everything, and founds Afton Robotics Incorporated, and the Funtime animatronics are created to basically like kidnap kids without Afton having to do it. Very effective way, just to get as many kids as possible. And they all like
He's not a good person. Let's just say that now.
No, not a good person. Do not feel like William Afton, please. But basically, all the animatronics have like a specific role that they play. For example, Ballora is supposed to be like the distraction. Funtime Foxy is supposed to actually be able to mimic parents' voices. That's why it has like the speaker on it, kind of. Bon Bon is like a parent tracking thing, trying to like see when is the kid like alone by itself. Funtime Freddy is used to grab and store the kids, which is why he's like bigger and like he's like hollow on the inside, kind of. And Circus Baby is also to like lure the kids in, and you see it actually in a mini game where she lures the kids in with like ice cream before grabbing them and like trapping them in. She's also supposed to be one that's like kidnaps the kids and like lures them in, essentially. So that's like how they each kind of like play a role in each thing. And like I said, now with this game too, there's 2 canon endings because as the game goes on, there's just more and more endings.
Yeah.
Scott doesn't.
Oh, just before we get to those, don't forget about the cutscenes.
Yes.
I had to look it up. I had to look it up to make sure it was in this one, so I wasn't like saying the wrong one. About Michael basically turning purple and throwing up at the end.
That's in custom. That's in custom night.
Oh, it's in the custom night part of it. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Don't worry. It's so good. I had to look it up too. I'm like, wait, when does this happen? No, if you technically there are cutscenes, but that's just him going home watching soap operas. So
yeah,
I didn't think you really wanted me to include those.
Well, I mean, yeah, but Clara, the baby's not mine. Just
with Vlad.
Vlad just being like, but he's flying. I don't care. It's not mine.
They're so bad, but it's so funny.
It really is. And then all the fun Michael's body decaying and throwing up and coming back to life. I mean, that was a fun mini game, wasn't it?
Yes, but
that's like ending thing.
Yeah, but that is after the two canon and non-canon endings. I can't talk. God. Okay, so
both end basically the same way.
That's true. Canon ending. It's basically for night 5, the player attempts to like fix Circus Baby because she's like broken or something, and so you follow Circus Baby around and everything, and you fix her, and then you go and like you put her on the conveyor belt, whatever you go, and then you follow her into the scooping room, where basically you're just like kind of standing there, and you see all the animatronics already like scooped and everything, and you hear Baby saying, "Oh yeah, Belora's been to the scooping room." All like Funtime Foxy, Funtime Freddy, and Baby have all been to the scooping room, whatever. And basically Michael, the character you play as, which is named Eggs Benedict, love that name. He essentially is tricked, and then he is in the scooping room, and he gets scooped, and Ennard, like the character we were talking about earlier, goes inside of him and like wears him as like a skin suit essentially to like be out in the real world, because like if you see like a huge like thing of animatronics moving around, you're obviously gonna be like, hey, that's not normal. No. So they want to like go out into the real world. And then so it like you get scooped, and then the screen goes black. Ennard apologizes and everything. And then it ends with a cutscene in a bathroom mirror with like a shadowy figure that's like limp and like laying like kind of dead, like rolls up almost to the mirror or whatever.
Rolls up his club for all the sorry, go ahead.
He rolls up and then basically see glowing purple eyes, and then like it cuts, and this like kind of indicates the animatronics have successfully escaped. A fun fact about the figure is that it's Rick Astley from Never Gonna Give You Up, so Scott rickroll us canonically.
Oh God.
Yeah. The non-canon ending is basically where the player will unlock. It has to happen after like a certain amount of things. Like I believe you have to do the full-on ending first, because you have to have a certain amount of stars and like a certain amount of things to get in. Yeah, you need 2 stars to access the room. So like if you try doing this ending first, it won't work. Yeah, essentially. So basically, the player will then, instead of going where BD tells you, he goes off into a private room, and then you essentially like fight Ennard. Hand unit will come on and state the player's like fired for being like in on unauthorized access like area, and leaves the player like alone. So you're like fending for yourself essentially against Ennard. Ennard will like talk to you in Baby's voice, which is like Elizabeth Afton, which is Michael's sister, trying to like lure the player into like letting her in, blah blah, whatever. But if you beat the game, the player goes home and like watches TV, like we were kind of saying earlier. But instead of it being like normal, Ennard will come like and drag itself into your living room. Yeah, really weirdly, and then just like you have like a stare down of like, I don't know, just a stare down against each other, and then like the credits roll after that. But that's like the non-canon ending, so like you canonically die, which is
I think either way, you probably end up in the same
You-
spot.
yeah.
So I mean, it just kind of depends on which one you want to use.
Yeah, exactly. So now we're gonna go on to the Circus Baby mini game, which is like another kind of important thing where we learn about like how Baby actually does scoop the children and everything. So basically, the entirety of the game is like an 8-bit like countdown game where you have to like give all the kids like cupcakes and then go to the end of the game. The only true way to beat the game is if you give all the characters cupcakes, which is like a lot of like maneuvering, like making sure you give each kid the certain amount of like cupcakes that they want and everything like that. You have to get the ice cream at the very end and then get all the way back to the very beginning to unlock this ending. And basically, if you do that and everything, then you get to see Elizabeth Afton get trapped by Baby, which like a kind of about that is you hear throughout like the different nights Elizabeth Afton trying to talk to William, saying, "Oh well, like you made this animatronic for me. She's so pretty. Why can't I go play with her? Whatever." And you don't really know who that is, but we find out later on that that's Elizabeth. And then in one of the nights, Baby tells you a story about how like I was only on stage one time. I was always acutely aware of how many children were in the room. She has like a sequence of like how many kids were in there, and then there was one kid, and then everything goes dark, and she doesn't remember what happens, which is basically like her scooping, her trapping Elizabeth, and her like not really remembering because her AI and like programming kicked in, which is kind of about that whole minigame. And then for custom night, now we get onto that part. So there's basically like a bunch of different modes that you have for that. I'm not going to go through all like the modes and everything. I'm just going to go through the cutscenes for it. So basically, the first cutscene is Michael is looking normal, wearing like a purple shirt. People are like waving cheerfully at Michael, like nothing seems wrong. The second time is similar to the first. It's like slightly different. The skin goes from like tan to like pinky, more like tan, more paler. The third one, the skin is like greenish, and like the first like few people are like bewildered and like kind of like, huh, what's happening? But everyone else is like normal. The fourth one, the skin is like darker green, brownish. The eyes are black. The last people are like confused. Like everyone's kind of like confused. The fifth one, strange glow in one of the eyes. The skin is like even worse, and everyone is like concerned. There are people kind of like hiding too. On the sixth one, the skin's completely purple, eyes glowing, very like, very senile. Very few people like are around and everything. The seventh one, the skin's like a dark purple, and you're like hunched over, like barely being able to move. Everyone's hiding. There's like no one there. Michael has like a body spasm before throwing up all the robotic parts. Yes, all the robotic parts into the sewer. No, same. And then like he collapses on the ground, and like you presume he like dies and everything before you hear Circus Baby voice repeating, "You won't die," multiple times.
He won't die. He won't die.
Yes,
I was
you
just
won't.
saying it. Sorry, go ahead.
And then Michael gets like revived and everything while the animatronic like eyes are in the sewer, so you see like, oh, they're like their own entity, and he's like still alive somehow. And then the last part is Golden Freddy mode, which is where like if you beat all the animatronics at the hardest mode all at once, and you get like a cutscene of Michael, the character you play as.
Oh, wait. So I actually have I actually pulled up the stuff so where we can actually listen to the dialogue from that one. Really quickly because I found it and I'm like I have a picture of it and stuff.
Yes.
Because like that's the one we're on, right? Where with Springtrap coming in.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to make sure because I didn't want to share the wrong one.
Okay, don't worry.
Share the computer sound. Hopefully people can hear this. If you can't hear it, then they can't either. Because see, this is the dialogue. This is some of the screen grabs from it. This is what Springtrap does and all that fun stuff. So.
Okay. Let me know when you're playing it. I can hear
It's
it.
me, Michael. I did it. I found it. It was right where you said it would be. They were all there. They didn't recognize me at first, but then they thought I was you. And I found her. I put her back together. just like you asked me to. She's free now. But something is wrong with me. I should be dead, but I'm not. I've been living in shadows. There is only one thing left for me to do now. I'm going to come find you. I'm going to come find you.
Springtrap pops up.
Yes.
And the other one's probably just like the music for it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. I wasn't sure.
So-
Okay. Yep, but go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say. So essentially, that's like he showed us, the ending of that, and we see Springtrap, which is not Michael Afton, William Afton, his father, obviously confirming that he is like essentially. Is it confirming that he's the older brother? It kind of is.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like at least confirming that Michael is related to William. And that Elizabeth is his sister, so like it kind of like ties the whole family together. But then other than that, that's like all the stuff I really had to go over.
Awesome. So with that, I believe if we end now, we might have enough time to do the next video as well in the same day. If we go somewhat quickly. If we go somewhat quickly, we might be able to. Okay, but that does not matter to the people at home. But thank you all for watching. That cutscene that our lovely guest talked about definitely does allude to the next topic we're going to be talking about in 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we will talk to you later.
Yep.
Bye.